Hi everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Jen Reed and I'm a market mentor with Fashionista. When Jenny asked me to do a training today, I really wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. But the more that I thought about it, the more that I realized that I personally have been spending a lot of time working on my Instagram game. And I know from our team page and our other team pages that there typically are a lot of questions regarding Instagram. So I thought, why not? Let me preface this by saying I am certainly not the be-all, end-all expert of Instagram. But it is a journey that I have really dived deeper into over the past couple months and have learned a ton and would love to share it with you today. So let's talk about demystifying Instagram, and hopefully you leave this with some tips on how to use this platform to grow your personal brand and your business. Let me start by talking about some statistics. And I have about 8 pages of notes here, so I'm going to get through as much as I can. But whatever we don't get through today, I can always do another time, or somebody else can do another training for this. So Instagram itself has 1 billion monthly active users, which is 3 times the monthly active users of Twitter. It is a huge platform. Facebook is still king. Facebook has 2.3 million monthly active users. But Instagram is catching up, and worldwide, 500 million Instagram users are active every single day on the platform. Think about that, 500 million people active daily on a platform that you can use to connect and help people. So over 60% of users log into Instagram daily, making it, like I said, the second most engaged social network behind Facebook. And 72% of Instagram users say that they have purchased a product that they saw on the app. I know personally I have. And there's also lots of other products that always pop up that I think I want to try, like those magnetic eyelashes. I don't know why. Those magnetic eyelashes always pop up on my Instagram feed, and I am contemplating trying them. So if anybody has tried them and they liked them, let me know. Drop a comment. So one more thing about how much time people are spending on Instagram. The average American user has gone from spending 29 minutes a day, which was a statistic from September of 2017, to 55 minutes a day. So on average, Instagram users are spending an hour on Instagram every day. So hopefully these statistics help you recognize that Instagram is a platform that you might want to at least consider using to help build your brand, grow your business, grow your network, and connect with more people. Is it necessary to grow your business? Of course not, but that's not a conversation for today. We're gonna talk about, if you do want to use Instagram, what are some tips to help you do that? So I wanna let you know, about a year ago, Instagram was a thorn in my side. Instagram was this annoying time suck that my kids were constantly spending time on. And I was finding myself regularly yelling at them, get off that stupid app. It doesn't matter how many likes you get on your photo. That doesn't define who you are. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. Those aren't your real friends. I thought Instagram was nonsense. And then I joined this company and realized what a tremendous opportunity there was to reach and connect people on this platform. So I kind of had to change my tune a little bit, which my kids, like to give me a hard time about. But here I was thinking, okay, Instagram is a platform that we can use for our business. How the heck do I start? What do I do first? How do I go about it? What should I focus on? And I started to do my research, which of course is a work in process, like I mentioned. And I also was fortunate enough that I connected with a guy who owns a small social media company. He has been fantastic. I have learned so much from him. And here's the thing, he's actually married to a market partner and was able to grow her business from scratch to get her to the level of market mentor. So I love working and learning from him because he understands our business better than any other social media person that I interviewed or talked to before doing it. And just from working with him and doing my own research, just to show you this is something you guys can do, I was able to basically quadruple my following in about 3 months. So it's totally doable, guys. And by the way, if anybody is interested in his information, I'm happy to share that with you. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can follow me or find me there at Jen Reed, JENNREED. So the Jen Reed, Jen with 2 N's, Reed with 2 E's. Okay, let's dive into this stuff, and we'll get through as much as we can. So when you are hopping on Instagram, one of the most important things that you need to do is identify your brand. Who are you on Instagram? Figure that out first. A lot of people go on Instagram and their mentality is, who do I need to be in order to make a lot of sales? Who do I need to be to gain a big following? That may work in the short run, but honestly, if you're not being true to yourself and you're not being your authentic self, people are going to suss that out pretty quickly. So rather than thinking about who do I need to be, who can I copy to gain followers like they do, think about who you really are. What are you passionate about? What gets you excited? What do you like to talk about? What do you like to share about? And honestly, the more niche you can be, the better. You know, rather than saying, here I am, I'm a mom on Instagram, because there's millions of moms on Instagram. Think about, what kind of mom are you? You know, I'm a church-going mom. I'm a mom who eats healthy. I'm a dog mom. You know, all of these things help to narrow down your niche, and that's really key in terms of identifying that specific slice that you are going to attract. So listen, there are literally webinars, courses that you can do that will help you really narrow down your brand. I'm not going to go into that today, but if that is something you're interested in, honestly, you can Google, building my own brand, help me identify my brand. People like Hillary Rushford, Jenna Kutcher, those are 2 women that I follow that have great webinars and trainings specifically about that. But figure out who you are first. Okay, next. Now that you've figured out who you are, let's talk about your bio on Instagram. So according to researchers, it takes less than 0.2 of a second for an online visitor to form an impression of your account. And a big part of that is because of your bio. 0.2 of a second, guys. That's what you got. So you want to make sure that your bio is on point. Your bio is like your selling point. And you really want to use it to give people a reason to click follow, right? And to be part of your community and be part of your following. So most people will tell you that your Instagram bio needs to contain a few critical elements, and we're going to talk about them. So number 1, it should contain your real name. Even if your Instagram handle is something clever, like, a healthy mom in the kitchen, or happy with my dog, whatever it is. Your Instagram bio should also include your real name, because this is your personal brand, and this is going to help people to know you and connect directly with you, and they also will be able to search and find you on Instagram easier. Okay, so you also want to include a brief but catchy, clever description of who you are and what you do. Your bio, when people look at it, they should have an idea of who you are and what you do. What you don't want is for people to read your bio and go, I really, okay, she looks cute, but I really have no idea what she's doing on here. You don't want them to be confused, but you do want them to be curious and want to learn more about you and therefore follow you. So it's a fine line between sharing too much and not sharing enough. So you want to have that right balance. You want to have, you do want to be careful about including the name of your company and exactly what you do, because you want to create that curiosity piece. So I would not include the name of your brand. I would not include my company's logo, honestly, because then people see that and they're just going to go away and they're Google it and they're going to go, oh, they're either going to go, oh, I don't need that, or maybe they find a negative article or a negative review about your company, and you don't want that. You want to have that conversation and that connection with people. Your bio, you also want your bio to include a call to action, also known as a CTA. So this is probably the one thing that when you look at people's Instagram bios that the majority of them are missing. And, people wonder why they're not getting more traffic, especially to their website. If you have a website that you can link, here's what I tell people. If you have something that you can link in your bio that will help drive more traffic to a funnel that you have, or a website that you have, or a lead capture that you have. So for us, for example, you can include your hair quiz in your bio. Click here to take your personalized hair quiz, or click here to get some samples, however it is that you want to say it. Here's the key thing about that. When people do that, they leave you with their email address, a way to contact them, a way to add them to your distribution list, a way to add them to your email service provider, whatever it is that you're using to connect with those people. That is key. So you want to have a strong call to action. Tell them what to do. People, they don't want to be confused. They want to know exactly what to do. Click here for blah, blah, blah. Click here to da, 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 da. And if it's a way for you to have them click there, and then, like I said, gain a way to contact them in the future, that is key for growing your business. Finally, emojis. Emojis are fun, guys. People love to see emojis in your bios, right? And it draws people in because they're catchy and they're cute and they're clever. So for me, for example, I'm a puppy lover. That's actually one of my email addresses that I've had for like 20 years is puppylover914. So I've got little puppy prints. I'm a hockey mom, so I have some hockey sticks. Throw in a couple of emojis in there. The other thing that you may want to include is your location. And by the way, guys, don't think that whatever you put on your bio today has to stay there for all of eternity. I think I literally have updated my bio 20 times over the last 2 months. I'm constantly kind of tweaking it and playing with it. You'll figure out what, when you get it, you'll go, oh, that's it. That is totally it. So you might want to include your location on there just as an option. As an aside, before we move on, I want to talk about mindset on Instagram. This could be a whole nother training topic, and this may be something that Jenny wants to do a separate training on, or another leader in our group. Your mindset on Instagram, as well as any social platform, as well as in life, should be about how can I serve people? What can I do to help people? What problem can I solve for people? Your mindset on Instagram should not be sell, 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 buy, buy, buy. You've probably heard this before. People do not like to be sold to, but they love to buy. So you want to help create an emotional connection with people and help them see how you can help them. You definitely want to do that whole storytelling, connect, and have that emotional connection with people to help them understand what you can do to help them, and that you are there to serve them, not to just see them as a bottom line figure in your business. So I just want to make sure we cover that. Okay, number 3. All right, so we talked about your identifying your brand. We talked about your bio. Now we're talking about number 3, your photos. Guys, Instagram is a visual platform. People take 2/10 of a second to decide if they're interested in following you, and your photos on Instagram are 100 times more important than your words. Facebook is a little bit different. Facebook, you can talk a lot more. People will spend more time actually reading a post. But think about Instagram. People are, scrolling through quickly, double clicking for a like if they like your photo. So you want to make sure that your Instagram feed has a nice, cohesive look. Instagram photos that include a face get 38% more likes than other photos. Now, does this mean that your feed only needs to be selfies of your face? Absolutely not. You want your feed to be interesting to people, but maybe you're including photos of your face from an angle. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe your eyes are open. All different locations, when you're traveling, having that in the background, maybe a picture in front of your Cadillac, whatever it is, always changing that up. Can you throw in other photos that don't include your face? Of course you can. Honestly, go through Instagram and look and see what photos are appealing to you. And then I love this expression that Rachel Adams, Lee, and Ryan use, which is R&D it. Rip off and duplicate, and I do it all the time. Find people that have great feeds, find competitors, find people that you are drawn to what they're doing and you identify with, and then start making it your own, putting your own twist on it. So anyway, let's get back to photos. Those photos that include faces get more interaction on Instagram. So be human, show yourself, show what you're doing in your posts. And pets and babies are great too. Those are also great for driving traffic and driving engagement. All right, number 4, we want to talk about presets and filters. Really important, guys. 60% of the top brands on Instagram use the same filter across all of their image. If you're not sure what a filter or a preset is, it's basically, when you go into Instagram and you put in your photo and it gives you that option of selecting one of those filters, whether it's, Valencia or XL Pro, whatever it is. It's a way to give your photos a more professional, curated look without having to be a professional photographer. Now listen, we all know that there are some amazing photographers in our business, and sometimes I wish I was a professional photographer because they all seem to be doing so well, and I'm so happy for them. But you don't have to be a professional photographer to have good photos on Instagram. And honestly, if you literally Google how to take good pictures for social media, how to take pictures for Instagram with my iPhone, you will find all kinds of great tips. And actually, that is one thing that I'm going to be adding to my Instagram. One of my little bubbles will be some tips on that, so stay tuned. And the other thing is I can link a few presets that I like. Those of you in our business, I'm sure you know Sarah Hill. She has some fabulous presets that you can purchase from her. And by the way, if you don't follow Sarah Hill, you need to. No matter what your business is, that woman is an absolute genius on Instagram. She's super creative. She's super clever. I R&D stuff from her all the time. I think a lot of people do. She's amazing. So my suggestion is definitely to follow her. I think it's Sarah Hill 920 is her handle. So I'll link a few other presets, but again, you can literally just Google, presets, and think about the look that you want on your Facebook, on your Instagram feed. Do you want it to be a light and airy look? Do you want it to be a bright and colorful look? Do you want it to be sort of a dark and moody look? Whatever that look is, there are presets out there that will help you get that consistent, cohesive look on your feed. All right, number 5. Let's talk about content and engagement. Those are key on Instagram. It is visual, but in order to be successful on Instagram, you need to have outstanding content and you need to have engagement. So you need to be providing valuable content on Instagram. Yes, people love pretty pictures, and that is one of the things that's going to help them make that decision in the first 0.2 of a second that they look at your feed. But you want to also be able to back that up with things that people find interesting. That photo can be your content. Maybe you also have some, you're also going to include some verbiage with your photos. That needs to be good content that people find valuable, especially the people that you are hoping to create this community with, that you are targeting. If you are somebody who loves to cook healthy and you're talking about, weight loss and these healthy recipes that you're making, include some of your recipes, whether it's in your posts or whether it's in your stories, and we'll talk about stories a little bit later. But the number of followers that you have on Instagram is not as important as the engagement you're getting. You guys could have 500,000, 750,000 followers, but if you're only getting 20 comments on your picture or 5 comments on your post, that's not good. That's no bueno. I'd rather see people have a smaller following but getting more engagement, because that engaged community is what is going to help develop those relationships and help really people to connect with you and for you to be able to help them. So engagement is key. Here's a tip about engagement. Every single comment that somebody makes on your post, please, please, please respond to it, and respond to it as quickly as you can. I know we all have busy lives. If you can't, get to a comment and respond to it until the next day, that's fine. But please make sure that you respond to every single comment. Even if it's a silly comment that somebody makes, like, hey, nice post, very generic. Say something like, wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate your feedback. And if you can, ask a question, because when you ask a question, that will require them to respond, and then you've got some back and forth engagement, which Instagram loves. All right, engagement is actually measured by likes, shares, and comments. So that's what you want to be striving to achieve with your Instagram account. So engagement on Instagram is actually 10 times higher than engagement on Facebook right now, guys. It is a fantastic platform for you to be using to be getting this engagement with your followers. And it's 54 times higher than Pinterest and 84 times higher than Twitter, okay? More people are liking, commenting, and sharing on Instagram than they are on those other platforms. And if you're wondering who on Instagram gets the most engagement of all, out of everybody on Instagram, it is Kylie Jenner and Beyonce. So if you want to see what they're doing and how they're driving engagement, it may involve, showing off some body parts. I'm just guessing. I don't actually follow either of them. So if that's something you're, into, go for it. It's working for them. All right. Another thing that's important to know, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. If you guys don't follow Gary V on every social media platform, please do. The man is a flipping genius, and you will learn something from him every single day. He's also like the dad that you wish you had, who gets you going and gives you that kick in the rear, but isn't your dad, so you don't resent what he's saying. According to Gary V, you need to have 17 touches on Instagram on a daily basis to really drive and grow your business. So what is a touch? All those things we talked about: liking people's photos, commenting on people's photos, sharing people's photos, posting your own posts on your Instagram feed, going live on Instagram, posting stories. All of these things, at least 17 of these a day on Instagram is the magic number, according to Gary V, who is an expert. Okay, so we talked about how liking and engaging with other accounts is one of the most important tactics that you can do to increase engagement and also to grow your followers, guys. Think about when you wake up in the morning and you turn on your phone and you get that whole list of messages. So-and-so liked your photo, so-and-so commented on your photo, and you get so excited, like, yes, somebody likes what I'm sharing with them. Somebody's finding value in this. This is fantastic. If you feel that way, make other people feel that way. Because think about it. When you wake up and you see, whoever is, Jen Reed liked 5 of your photos and commented on 3 of your photos, you're going to be more likely to go, who is this Jen Reed? You're going to go check out my Instagram account, and hopefully, most likely, you're going to click follow. So if you do the same thing for other people, spend 15 minutes a day going through, identifying accounts of people that you identify with, identifying with identify people who you would love to have part of your community, people who you think you could help, that you could serve, and start liking and commenting on all of their posts. I guarantee you, you will be able to grow your following this way. This is one of the things that I did to help grow my following. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. Next page, we are going to talk about, one other thing I want to talk about growing your following before I forget. There's other ways that you can actually pay people to help grow your following. I'm sure you guys have all seen, some of those advertisements that you see on Instagram. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. For example, I'm not saying what I do is perfect, but the guy that I was telling you about that I use that owns a small social media company, I love this guy to death. He's been so helpful and I've learned so much from him. One of the things that I did with him was used one of his services to help grow my following. And so you can grow your following in a very organic way. And that's fabulous. And so a lot of people do that. It can take a little bit longer. So if you need a little bit of help, if you kind of want to jumpstart your Instagram following, there are ways that you can do that by using services to help grow your following. And I found it to be very successful because you basically use like a specific targeting method to target the types of followers that you want to attract. So you're not just attracting random people. And it's been really great, at least for me personally. Okay, let's talk about hashtags. Number 6, hashtags. Having at least one hashtag on your photo will get you 12.6% more engagement on Instagram. Now, so think about that. Just throwing on one hashtag is probably going to increase your engagement. That's awesome. You definitely want to be using hashtags. Instagram allows you to use up to 30 hashtags. This was something that completely confounded me when I got on Instagram. I was like, why does it say too many hashtags? How many can I use? It's 30. Right now it's 30. Now, this is a little bit of a controversial topic. Not really that controversial. Not controversial like, is our Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper really in love? Not that kind of controversial. But controversial in that people who are in, the social media world have different opinions about this. So you can use up to 30 hashtags. A lot of people believe that 11 is the sweet spot and that you should not drown out your core message by using too many hashtags. I personally use 30. I'm trying to really grow my Instagram following, so I'm trying to reach and connect with as many people as I can. So I do use 30. I feel like maybe when you get to a point where you have a bigger following and a more significant following, then you can pare down those hashtags. But for me, I want to try to use as many of them as I can. Now, it's one thing to use hashtags, and it's another thing to use hashtags that are relevant to your niche, relevant to your brand, relevant to your business. So think about, let's say you're a beauty and wellness specialist, and you hashtag vegetable garden, hashtag vegetable garden. It makes no sense. Why are the people who are searching that hashtag going to follow you? They're going to see your photo and go, that has nothing to do with planting a vegetable garden. So don't waste your hashtags, guys. Do your research. You want them to align with what your brand offers and the people that you're trying to attract. So you know what? You need to do some research on this. Look at your competitors. Look at the people who do the same thing that you do and see what they are hashtagging on their posts and try those. And guys, it's not like you're gonna pick your 30 hashtags and boom, that's it. You're gonna save them in notes and you're gonna use them over and over again and your business is gonna flourish. You have to play with them a little bit. And each post that you make might be about something slightly different. You might be making a post about business. You might be making a post about pretty hair. You might be making a post about raising kids. Even when you're in your niche every post that you make is going to have a little bit of a different flair to it. So what you want to do is research those hashtags for that specific niche that you're talking about, and then save them in your notes page so you can copy and paste them each time. You can also do that text shortcut. That's another great way to save yourself time. You don't want to be typing out 30 hashtags every time you go on there. That's crazy. That's cray-cray. That's a total waste of your time. So save them or do the text shortcut and add them in. There's a website that I've used. There's other ones like this. It's called tagsforlikes.com, and you can go in there and it'll show you sort of by niche, by genre. Let's say you're posting about fashion. Let's say you're posting about beauty. Let's say you're posting about, working from home. It'll give you a bunch of suggested hashtags. And there's a lot of other sites like that that will do it. But again, the one that I've used before is called tagsforlikes.com. And then you simply copy and paste those hashtags in. Another thing that's really important about hashtags should be moderate, guys. That means that they need to be the right size for you. So you're gonna find some hashtags, have a couple thousand posts associated with them. Some are gonna have over 1 million posts associated with them. So the general rule of thumb that I follow is that if you have less than 10,000 followers, you can aim for hashtags around 100,000, but definitely under 1 million. I don't ever tag anything that's over 1 million when I search hashtags. You just get lost. You're not a big enough influencer yet to be ranking high on that list of hashtags. So choose ones that are a little bit smaller, that'll get you to the top of that hashtag list, and that will drive people to your account. My foot is falling asleep because I'm sitting on it because I'm so short and I wanted to be taller so that I'd be up here instead of down here. Okay, so let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Okay, researching hashtag. I can't say hashtags today. Saving hashtags. Okay. I recognize that I have been talking for a little bit of time, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up and cover a couple more things. The first thing that I want to talk about, which isn't one of the numbers here, it's sort of an aside, is about being spammy on Instagram and all of social media. Please do not be spammy on Instagram. What do I mean by spammy? Please do not be one of those people who slides into your DM and says, hey, love your feed. I think you'd be great on my team. Watch this video. Hey, found you on Instagram today. I think that you and I could make $1 million together. I'd love to work with you. I have this opportunity that you'd be great at. Don't do that. I guarantee you it's not gonna work. And if it has worked for you, that is fantastic. Tell me your secret. It's not gonna work, guys. I'm sure everybody here who has an Instagram account has received messages like that from people that are just spamming you. A lot of times they'll just search random hashtags, they'll find accounts, they'll shoot DMs directly to you. You don't wanna be doing that. You wanna be developing relationships with people, guys. You want to, comment and like on their photos. And then, then maybe start a conversation over DM with them about various things. The last VIP that I got off of Instagram, that's what happened with her. She was with another social selling company. We started talking about her products and what they do for people. We started talking about mine, and then boom, she wanted to try them. So develop that relationship. Don't be spammy. It's a really poor reflection on the company. It's a really poor reflection on you and your personal brand. You would never do that to a person face to face. Like, you wouldn't walk up to somebody and go, hi, I'm Jen. I think you would be great for my business. Can I show you my video? You wouldn't do that. So if you're not gonna do it in person, it's just like the rule. If you guys have kids, I would tell my kids this all the time. When you're on social media, don't post or say something that you wouldn't say to somebody's face. Same rule applies when it comes to prospecting people. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now, sorry. All right, now we're gonna talk about just really quickly a couple things. Images with quotes. You guys probably see a lot of images out there that have quotes on them. They're great to use. Even though they don't have a face, I love seeing quotes out there that are inspiring and, you know, say you're like, wow, I'm gonna go crush the day after I read that quote. And it can help increase your engagement. The thing that I would say is if you're gonna post quotes, a couple things about it. Make sure that they look consistent. You know, have a look, sort of like a preset for your photos, but a look for your quotes that you use on all of your quotes. Try to use your quotes at the exact time in your feed. So maybe it's, you know, every 6th post or every 8th post so that it gives you that nice cohesive look on your page. I'm terrible at that. What happens is I'll be like, oh my gosh, I want to post about this today, and I'll hop on and I'll post it and I'll go, oh poop, I was supposed to, it's the 9th post, I should have posted a quote today. So it's okay. It's okay. But if you are posting quotes, you know, maybe include a call to action, again, a CTA on your quotes to help drive more traffic, and you know, get a little bit more action, if you will, out of your quote. If you need quotes, this is actually something that you can do on your own. You can very easily create your own quotes using, you know, Canva or over like any of those apps that you want to create them. I didn't want to have to take the time to do that. So again, you can use people to do your, like I bought some from the guy that I use. They were super inexpensive and they're already done, and he included my logo on there so I can just go boom and I can slap them up there. But it's super easy to find your quotes. My suggestion is do a whole dump of them, like take an hour one day and create a whole bunch of them so that way you don't have to create them every time you want to post. You can do that too, by the way, with your posts. I don't go into that too much in here today, but there are scheduling apps where you can create all of your content ahead of time and then post it on your account. I don't do that. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants girl when it comes to content, but I'm always envious of people that have it scheduled. I kind of wish I was more like that. All right, let's talk about the different things that you can do on Instagram to help grow your business, grow your followers. You can post on Instagram. We've already talked a little bit about that. You can use Instagram stories. You can go live on Instagram, and now you can also link IGTV to Instagram. I think that's it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. So, video posts have the highest overall engagement rate, 38% higher than image posts. So guys, if you can do a video in your story, if you can go live, you're gonna get a lot more engagement. It may not happen immediately, and that is okay. Or if you do a video actually as your post, that also drives more engagement. Stories, you guys, stories are huge on Instagram. If you're not using stories, please make that a goal for yourself today, all right? Stories, over 400 million accounts use Instagram stories every single day. And right now, the ratio is starting to even out. So on Instagram, 46% of the posts are stories and 54% are actual posts on feed. So it's almost neck and neck right now. Stories are great, guys. There's so much that you can do on your stories. That could be a whole nother actual training that we could do. But a couple things about stories. You can do so much fun stuff on there. You can swipe to change the sort of the look. It's almost like a preset that you can use on it. You can tag people. You can hashtag your stories. One of my tricks that I love to do is I put in a couple hashtags and then I make them really small, and then you can actually hide them on your photo so people don't see them, so it doesn't look super spammy, but it'll still come up in people's hashtag searches. So if you don't know how to do that, literally Google it, how to hide hashtags. But you put in your hashtag, you shrink it, and then you click on the color, and there's a way that it blends in with the background. Make it fun for people on your stories. Use polls. You can do the ask a question option. You can do a poll. Also, another recommendation, guys, this goes across the board, not just for Instagram stories. Tag your location as much as possible, because Anytime people are searching for that, your post will pop because you were at that location. So always tag your location. Okay, stories, live. Super, super important to growing your Instagram following. Instagram algorithm right now rewards accounts that are utilizing all of the platforms. So right now, if you're just posting on your Instagram feed, you're missing out on engagement and following that you could be getting simply by adding in one or two of these other platform functions like live, stories, IGTV, etc. When you go live, you're automatically pushed to the front of the stories line, guys. And here's another tip that I learned from my guy. Before you go live, spend about 5 or 10 minutes commenting and liking on a bunch of people's posts. I do not understand the science behind it. I am not the Jamie Ross of Instagram. I don't understand how it works, but I just know that it works. That if you go out and you like and comment on other people's posts for 5 or 10 minutes before you go live, it increases your engagement. It drives more people to your live. Facebook, I keep doing that. Instagram loves to see that you're engaged and now you're going live. So like, hey, this is an active member of our community. Let's push her to the front of the list, all right? You wanna know the other great thing about stories? They don't have to be curated. They don't have to be as picture perfect as the post that you're making on your feed. You don't need to wear makeup. You can put on bunny ears. You can be silly. You can show people your real life because that's what people want. They want to know who you are. You can go live anywhere, from the grocery store, from your bathroom, in your car, walking your dog. But if you want some more ideas for going live, let's talk about some more specific things that you can do. You can introduce your team members, talk about how much fun you have working together and sharing this business together and traveling together. If you're doing a wine and wash or you're doing a Super Saturday event, you can go live at that event and just show everybody what this is about and how exciting it is and how you're just a regular person fitting this into your life. You can, of course, share promotions and flash sales. Just try not to be too spammy with that. Talk more about how what you're offering is going to help them and how it's going to make them feel. So I'll give you a really good example. If I'm talking about, let's say, the volume line or the thickening spray, I talk about how when I use those products, it makes my hair feel 3 times thicker. Or I talk about how when I use the Color Enhance line, how I feel like I just left the salon and got my highlights refreshed. People, they don't want to be sold to, but they do want to buy, and they want to know, how is what you're doing and you're offering going to make me feel better, okay? They want that emotional connection. So, just be you on stories. Post your kids, your dogs, whatever it is that you want to talk about. And if you can, try to always include a call to action when you're doing your posts. I'm not saying you have to do it every time, but it may be if you're talking about, hey, this thickening spray is a free product this month. It makes my hair feel 3 times thicker. Swipe up. If you've got more than 10,000 followers, you can do that swipe up feature, or click the link in my bio to learn more, and link that to your account. So people like to be told what to do. They don't want to feel like, what do I do next? It might even be as simple as, DM me with questions about your hair. That's a perfectly fine call to action. When you guys start going live, don't be discouraged if only 1 or 2 people hop on. It's going to happen. It is. And it's okay. The key is being consistent. And this is actually something I need to work on. I don't like to adhere to schedules. So for me to have to go live at a certain time every day drives me bonkers. But it is something I need to focus on. If you guys know Amy Sloan, she is the master of consistency. And I know Jenny absolutely loves her, and I can see why. Amy Sloan is a doll, and she's hilarious. She is so great about doing her Chatty and the Catties on a consistent basis. And she talks about it on her feed that it has really helped drive her engagement and has increased her followers. So try to be consistent with that. And that way people know, hey, you're going to be going live at such and such time, or hey, you're going to be posting your live stories at such and such a time. You can even post excuse me, hey, I'm going live at such and such a time. I'm going live in 15 minutes to remind people to come and watch you. Hype it up, all right? People can have advance notice and then they can be excited about you going live. Okay, let's see. Tagging other accounts. Let's talk about that super quick because this is almost 45 minutes and I want to wrap up. You can tag other people's accounts if it's relevant. Please don't do it if it's spammy. So when you make your post, you have a couple different ways that you can tag. You can actually tag on the post. You can tag in the comments. For example, if you are tagging something about a flash sale, you might want to tag Money Official. If you are quoting Rachel Hollis in your post, you can tag Rachel Hollis. Honestly, though, the bigger the following of the person that you're tagging, the less likely that anybody's going to see it anyway. So if you are tagging people, try to tag people that have smaller followings. Maybe you're sharing a post or a quote that you saw on another influencer's feed or in their story. It's polite and it's good manners to tag them and give them the credit and the recognition. And then what it also does is it also attracts their followers to you. So it's kind of a win-win. But don't do it and be spammy. Like, don't just randomly be tagging people in your post because you want to attract their followers. That's cheesy. That's a no-no. That's a no bueno. Okay. I am going to wrap up with a couple of things. We're not going to talk about that because we don't have time. So, last thing I'm going to say. This whole Instagram thing, it takes work and it is not an instant game changer. So there are people out there who make a post that goes viral and boom, they're following quadruples in a really short time, and good for them. That is amazing and fantastic. But that is not the norm. That is not what most people are going to be seeing when they're working on Instagram. Instagram is a long-term game. It really is. But it can be so valuable to growing your brand and growing your business and connecting you with a fantastic community that you can share what you do and how you can help them with. So, like all things in social selling, consistency is key. Be consistent. Try to do those 17 touches every day. Try to have a schedule of when you're going to go live. Oh, another question. How often should I be posting? Again, people have different opinions on this. At least once a day is what you should be posting. I tend to do it at least 2 times a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. You don't want to be overwhelming people's feeds like, oh God, she's posting again. Oh my God, there's that annoying girl, she's posting again. But you want to stay relevant. You don't want to post, once a week because people will forget about you and you won't be seen as often in their feeds. So consistency is key, like anything else with what we do. Follow-up is key. Consistency is key. And if you do that, you will, I promise you, you will see an increase in your community and in your following on Instagram. So I hope that all of this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to post them in the comment. I'm going to link up some of the things that I talked about in the video. And if you have any questions and you want to message me directly, again, on Instagram is the best way to reach me. And it's at the Jen Reed. Jen with 2 N's, Reed with 2 E's, the word the in front of it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found some value and got some benefit out of this, and have a great day.